What's up, guys? Swift here. Today I'm talking about why the Bears can win the NFC North. I'm going to do a breakdown of the entire division. First up, I'll talk briefly about the Bears. Look, this team is young, exciting, and Ryan Poles is coming off one of the best off seasons in franchise history. He improved the roster from the top down, and I've talked about the Bears all off season. But today I want to talk briefly about the other teams in the NFC North and give my takes on them and why I believe the Bears can go from worst to first and win the division, but it won't be easy. First up, let's talk about the Detroit Lions, a team that is on the upswing. I won't argue that. I've made jokes about Jared Goff before, but he's not awful. I just don't think he's special. I think there are quarterbacks you can win with and ones you can win because of. He is not a quarterback you win because of. He needs ample talent around him. But other than quarterback, the Detroit Lions do have a ton of talent. They have the best offensive line in the division and an up-and-coming defensive line. They have weapons on offense and added a ton to the secondary. This should be a good football team, but they still have Jared Goff at quarterback and already have multiple players suspended for gambling. There's always the Lions factor too. The Lions are going to lion, and until they win the division, I won't write them off, but don't count me in as a believer. Next up are the Minnesota Vikings. This is a team that has a good roster, but Kirk Cousins has one career playoff win and is known to bomb in primetime. I will say last year Kirk had some of the best moments of his career. With Aaron Rodgers gone, he is the best quarterback in the division for now. I expect Justin Fields to take that crown sooner rather than later, but you can't write off the Vikings yet. They are a good football team with a good coaching staff and aspirations to win. The problem is I'm unsure how much better they got this offseason. They lost some players like Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, among others, but they added Jordan Addison, Marcus Davenport, and have injured players returning from last season. This should also be a good football team, but they are potentially due for some regression this season. It's going to be up to Kirk Cousins to play even better than he did last year if the Vikings want to win the division again. They are probably the favorites, but this team does have some holes. And then lastly are the Green Bay Packers. Am I worried that Jordan Love can continue Green Bay's historic run at the quarterback position? I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say there's a small part of me that, as a Bears fan, still believe it's kind of just inevitable. However, even though I do think Jordan Love has some talent, this is not the Brett Favre story all over again. Favre was on the downside of his career, whereas Rodgers actually has played some of his best football the last 2 seasons. Jordan Love is a clear downgrade for the Packers, who are still trying to replace Davante Adams, who they traded last year. I believe this offense is in for some major regression. I expect the Packers to have the worst offense in the NFC North. If they have any hope of competing, this defense will have to play lights out. And they do have a good defense, but overall, I believe the Packers are clearly the worst team in the division. If I were an odds maker, I would probably give the Lions and Vikings slightly better odds to win the division than Chicago, with the Packers coming in well behind all three. However, I would then put my money on the Bears winning the division and take those good odds. I don't think we should be the favorites. We had the worst record in the NFL last year. That said, we were not the worst team last year and had some bad luck losing 7 one-score games and having a ton of injuries. Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham put together an awesome offseason and have drastically improved this roster from top to bottom. If Justin Fields plays like I believe he can play this year, then I think the Chicago Bears can win the NFC North and go from worst to first. The simple truth is the NFC North is up for grabs. The Packers had ran this division for a while, but things changed last year. The Vikings claimed the North, and I believe a new era is coming. 2023 is set up to be a 3-team race for the North. I don't believe the Packers are serious contenders, but the Lions, Vikings, and Bears, oh my, should battle it out all season long. Buckle up, it's going to be fun. Training camp is coming, and the dead season of NFL time is finally coming to an end. We should have some news coming up over the next couple of weeks leading into training camp as well. Please stay tuned, guys. I'll be here every step of the way covering everything. Remember to hit that like button for me, and until next time, bear down.
Yeah, we icy. We going for that ring. We about to go golf. Let's go to the swing. So, yeah.